he could be the rabble or the Russian Tsar. Judge each creature of our race by each feature in his face. Look at him, I rest my case with there you are. And it matters not to me what part of town you come from. We're just glad you've made it here at all. Here within this garish matters over. And there you are. How very glad we are that there you are. It isn't who you are, but where you are. And there you are. And grateful are we to see how fine and there you are. There you are. Angela, dear, where are you?
I'm finally walking down the aisle, Bill.
Ah, there you are, Angela. And who's that with you?
I am standing with the gent who seems singularly bent on attaching both his hands to both my knees.
Oh, Alice!
I'm considering the lap of a most engaging chap, and I'll let him do exactly as I please.
Fine!
I've a lady down in front who's handed me her latchkey. Surely she must know that spells her doom.
And these lovely people will gather me more. Hitler!
And his hand has eyes to show me in my dressing room.
There you are, a distant way in Devon, you are. Just slightly west of Leicester's where you are. Yes, there you are, and thankful we all should be full well aware we are. So let me quick, let's all kick up a fuss. We can but pray of trust is binding us. So drink your fill and just unwind in us. Hope only wicked frame of mind in us. You'll find in us. We want you and not all dogs. Be careful where you be. And not the jump we care how you bloody. We but care and care. Damn it, there you are. And welcome to all of you on the most thrilling evening here at the Music Hall Royale. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, tonight we are privileged to present for your approval the premiere performance of The Mystery of Edwin Drood, a musicale with dramatic interludes. Now, as most of you are aware, our own Mr. Charles Dickens was full halfway through the creation of the greatest mystery novel of our time when he committed the one ungenerous deed of his noble career. He died, leaving behind not the slightest hint as to the outcome he intended for his bizarre and uncompleted puzzle, The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Tonight, however, ladies and gentlemen, when together we reach that point in our story where Mr. Charles Dickens wrote no more, I shall be asking you to vote upon key questions regarding the outcome of our plot. Our company will then make its most earnest efforts to meet the supreme challenge, to contrive an ending according to your specifications. So, let's be as vulgar and as uncivilized as physically possible. Kick off your boots, loosen your corsets, and enjoy yourselves. Oh, and by the way, for those gentlemen among you who arrived alone and require companionship up through the final curtain, you need only to speak up and never be lonely again. I'll fix you up later, sir. Though he looks as though he wants fixing up now. Sir, I'm told you're quite an authority with the ladies. The ladies didn't tell me that, the authorities did. And please do remember, gentlemen, these sparkling and vivacious ingenues are not salaried employees, and we do ask that you contribute generously towards the cost of their theatrical studies. And be sure that all goods are returned tomorrow morning.
None the worse for wear.
Thank you. So, now, let's proceed to this evening's bill of fare. For the first time ever, the completed musical rendition of The Mystery
of Edwin Drood.
Cloisterham, the ancient, mouldering cathedral city of Cloisterham. Not a particularly encouraging setting for the Christmas season now upon us. A wintry shudder goes through the giant pines as they shed a gush of tears. Whoosh, whoosh. And here we are in the home of Mr. John Jasper, choir master of Cloisterham Cathedral, choir master, composer, organist, and vocal instructor. John Jasper has been blessed with a voice the angels themselves might envy. And who, dear ladies and gentlemen, more suited to essay the role of John Jasper than that gifted vocalist himself, your own Mr. Clive Paget.
Another trifling day, one more soul-stifling day of blinding pain. Boredom grinds my brain down to the brain. A man can go quite mad and not be all that bad. Consider each superb, disturbing urge you've ever had. To curse aloud in church or choke each blow who throws a smile your way. Be that as it may, a man can have their dreams and not be all he seems, yet not to be far removed from all the noblest of extremes. Sometimes I think that sanity is just a passing fad. A man could go quite mad. Unblessed are the dull, one ceaseless, peaceless lull. Some wondrous night, storm-struck thunder's light will cost me right. A sculptor lacking arms, a sorcerer lacking charms, a fiend who frightens no one, for there's no one that he harms, whose curse cut only desperate respite from this dim tableau. Knowing this is so, I hide myself in thought, where one cannot be caught, and feed on dreams that contradict each edict I've been taught. And if someday I lose my way in mind, you'll find me glad. A man could go quite, man could go quite, man could go quite mad!
Applause means you're conserving your energies for the final curtain. John Jasper eagerly awaits the arrival of his beloved nephew, the title character of our evening's diversion, Edwin Drood.
Hello, Uncle!
Why, there's the lad now!
My dear Uncle!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes do not deceive you. Devotees of male impersonation are more used to seeing Miss Nutting in top hat and tails when she does her rendition of Aren't I Half a Toff? This evening, however, she hides her distinctive form beneath the garb of young Edwin Drood. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for tonight's guest artiste and London's leading male impersonator, Miss Alice Nutting.
Any dinner, Uncle?
You forget, Ned, that uncle and nephew are words prohibited here by express agreement.
Of course you're right, John. After all, there are only half a dozen years or so between our ages. Hello, Jack, don't drink yet. I must propose a toast.
A toast to what, Ned?
He asks to what? To Rosa.
Rosa.
To the fair Miss Rosa Budd. Surely you haven't forgotten that Rosa and I are soon to be wed?
It has not quite slipped my mind.
Yes, a tedious ceremony in your creaking cathedral, John. Then off with my wonderfully pretty child bride to dusty Egypt, where I intend to shake things up a bit.
Is it certain, then? Egypt seems a desperate great distance.
It is indeed, John. This portrait is not one of my better efforts, Jack, yet you choose to hang it here. In heaven's name, why?
Because it reminds me of you, Ned, and of the happiness I wish you and Rosa.
I'm sure we'll be quite happy. Although our courtship suffers from an unavoidable flatness, owing to the fact that my dead and gone father and her dead and gone father had as good as married us at birth. Why the devil
Tut, tut, dear boy.
Tut, tut. That's all very well for you, Jack. You can love whomever you choose.
Don't stop, dear fellow, do. Go on.
Have I hurt your feelings, John?
How could you have hurt my feelings?
Heaven's name! You look frightfully ill. There's a strange film come over your eyes.
I have been taking medicine for a pain, an agony that overcomes me. I've been forced of late to seek treatment in London, but thereat the effect will soon be gone.
My dear uncle.
Then take it as a warning. And Ned, Edwin, this is a confidence between us.
It shall be safely preserved.
I have confided in you because
Because we are fast friends, and because you love and trust me as I love and trust you. Both hands, Jack. My dearest Uncle Jack.
my dearest nephew Ned,
Our lives without your friendship would be lifeless food instead.
the winds of hell may blow, but as you well may know, I'll heed the call you need to swallow and face the fire below. For you,
For you,
for you.
you. Two kings we more than brothers, we never next of kin, and yet we never others close to meet the skin. The blood that flows between us, the bonds that tie us twain. Two kings we when all others flee, and we remain.
My dearest nephew Ned,
My dearest Uncle Jack, if men say words against you, I would make them take them back. A loyal lad am I, would be but glad to die. If by my death one extra breath of life for you I buy. 'Tis true,
'tis true.
For you.
Two kings we more than brothers,
We never next of kin,
and yet we never others close to meet the skin. The blood that flows between us, the bonds that tie us twain. Two kings men when all others flee, then we remain.
'Tis true,
'Tis true,
for you.
for you, kings men are we too.
Thank you so very much on behalf of that duo. You know, at these prices, two voices at the same time seems almost an embarrassment of riches. Though, by the looks of some of you down here, you're not embarrassed by much. But, to continue our story, young Edwin Drood is visiting Cloisterham to pay his regards to his bride-to-be, the famous Rosa Budd, who, like Drood, is an orphan. Rosa resides at Cloisterham's most respectable seminary for young ladies, aptly, if not correctly named, the Nun's House. Ladies and gentlemen, in the court of Rosa Budd this evening, that most delicate of English flowers, that blossoming bud that's even yet to be plucked, the unspeakably lovely Deirdre Peregrine.
Rosa, happiest of birthdays to you. I only pray I may be able to say these words on each of your birthdays.
I fear that is not likely, since, as you know, your own nephew, Edwin Drood, and I are to depart for Egypt once we are married.
It was only a wish, Rosa. How lovely you look. I have awaited your birthday with eagerness.
Eagerness, Mr. Jasper.
Yes. Your voice will no longer be as subject to the fluctuations of adolescence. And in what condition is your voice today, my dearest student?
As my music master, perhaps that question should best be answered by you, Mr. Jasper. Shall I sing the Mozart?
I have composed a song especially for you, my loveliest subject, on the occasion of your birthday. Choir master's pay being what it is, my life's blood is the most I can afford to offer.
Mr. Jasper, I cannot sing these words. It would not be proper.
Why? Whatever can you mean?
I am not worthy of it.
As your music master, that should be my decision. From the beginning, please.
Between the very dead of night and day, upon a steely sheet of light, I lay, and in the moonfall, I'll give myself to you. I'll bathe in moonfall and dress myself in dew. Before the cloak of night reveals the morn, time holds its breath while it conceals the dawn, and in the moonfall all sound is frozen still, yet warm against me. Your skin will warm the chill of moonfall. I feel its fingers, lingers the veil of night shade, light made from stars that all too soon fall. Moonfall that pours from you. Betwixt our hearts, let nothing intervene. Between your eyes, the only sight I see is lustrous moonfall as it blinds my view. So that soon I only see but you.
That was lovely, Rosa.
Thank you, sir.
But lovely will not do. When you sing these words, you must make me feel that you mean them. Once again, if you please.
Between the very dead of night and day, upon a steel, I cannot bear this. I am frightened. Take me away.
It is nothing. It's all over. Don't speak to her for a minute, and she'll be well.
She's not used to an audience. And besides, Mr. Jasper, you are such a conscientious master that I do believe you make her afraid of you. No wonder.
No wonder.
You'd be afraid of him under similar circumstances, wouldn't you, Miss Landless?
Not under any circumstances.
Ladies and gentlemen, our own fiery spirit, the unpredictable Miss Janet Commonweal. Good afternoon.
afternoon, Reverend Crisparkle. Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Jasper. And might I introduce young Neville Landless? He and his twin sister Helena have both arrived from Ceylon, where they no longer have any family. Neville has been entrusted to my care, while Helena will be living here at Ian's house. Welcome to Cloisterham, Mr. Landless. I'm afraid young Master Neville has been given over me to calm his rather hot-tempered nature, and to help him make a new beginning here in Cloisterham. You and your sister lost your parents recently, Mr. Landless. Their mother died when they were quite young. Now their stepfather has crossed over as well. I'm most sorry.
There's no need for you bright gentlemen to console me. As it happens, it is well my stepfather died when he did. Or I might have killed him.
The newest member of our company, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Victor Grinstead.
I surprise you, sir.
You shock me, unspeakably shock me.
You never saw him beat my sister. My stepfather was a brute, Mr. Jasper. In desperation, Helena tried on more than one occasion to flee our stepfather's cruel and a miserly hand, even disguising herself as a boy. But to no avail. As for myself, I've had, from my earliest remembrances, to subdue a deadly and bitter hatred which has made me secret and revengeful. I say, however, your kindness and goodwill have deeply moved me. I pledge to change my ill-tempered ways and break a new ground for myself.
There's the man. He'll soon blend in, Mr. Jasper.
Your pupil, Mr. Jasper. She sings beautifully.
I thank you.
Your efforts have not been without success.
I trust so, Mr. Landless.
And may I inquire if your relationship extends beyond that of pupil and master?
Heavens, no, Neville. Miss Bug is betrothed to young Edwin Drood, Mr. Jasper's nephew. You'd do well to cast your eyes and interests in other directions, sir.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Jasper.
No pardon is necessary. However, I must be off. Choir practice, I'm afraid. I wish you well in your new life, Mr. Landless.
Thank you indeed, Mr. Jasper. I trust we shall meet again. And I should like to meet this Drood and see what sort of man is worthy of the affection of Miss Bud.
Steady, lad. Steady.
You are feeling better now, aren't you?
Oh, much.
Thank you. These surroundings, which may seem very secure to you, are new and unsettling to me. You will be my friend, won't you?
I would be as good a friend as such a mite of a thing can be to such a womanly and handsome creature as you.
Who is Mr. Jasper?
My Edwin's uncle and my music.
Master. You know that he loves you.
Oh, don't! He terrifies me. I feel I am no longer safe from him. He has made a slave of me with his looks, forced me to keep silent after uttering a single threat.
Oh, gambler! You are tearing Mr. Jasper's composition.
It is of no matter. I do not intend to sing it again.
Well, I'm sure we'll have at least one reprise of this before the evening's over, don't you think? But we now step from the chaste sanctity of the nun's house and travel, for reasons which will soon become clear, to the wickedest corner and the wickedest hole in the fabric of the city of London. For below the streets and beneath contempt lies the opium den of the Princess Puffer. Here, the universal tongue of opium is spoken, with its sub-dialects of prostitution, burglary, violence for profit, and murder. And reigning supreme over this blemish on England's fair complexion is the Princess Puffer, who ministrates to a client's needs and hears more than she tells. Portrayed this evening by the Grande Dame of the Music Hall Royale, that Queen Mother of the Red Light District, that good woman of ill repute, your very own and beloved Miss Angela Priceoff.
Crime don't pay. That's what I tell them. If it did, would I be here? Mixing pipes. What? Then I sell them for a pint of rotten beer. Throats you cut to pocket profits, then you slut to cut some sleep. Bash a face for bleeding tuppence, pure disgrace to work so cheap. So I say, don't be a sinner for the price of London gin. You can't pay for one square dinner with the wages of sin. Sell me soul, oh love, come off it. Who would buy this sack of skin? On the whole, there ain't much profit in the wages of sin. In the wages of sin. In a row. Now, what piece of crumpet you been buttering up instead of me, hey? What little slice of raspberry tart? Oh, begging your pardon, miss, I'm sure. Oh, first time out in the town with him, is it, eh? Oh. Well, now do you feel love? I've had him on numerous occasions. And whatever he's got in store for you, praise God, it will be over within an instant. I've seen girls from gutter families trap rich men with fluttering ways, and they call past the jam peas of a nuptial breakfast trays. Over there, in bed in leather, sleeps a bleeding hypocrite. Spends his days, eyes cast to heaven, spends his nights amongst this shit. I do beg your pardon. Sorry, I didn't mean to. It won't happen again, I promise. Yeah, where was I? Oh, yes, shit. This is why I say, don't take that measures, do things right, and dig right in. In this world, there's greater treasures than the wages of sin. I get threats, but seldom offers. If I did, I'd pack it in. You can't feel too many coffers with the wages of sin. I'll give your old love some help with the last line then. With the wages of sin. Oh, bloody hell, you can do better than that. Come on, suck it up and give us the notes. With the wages
Cloisterham be astounded to discover in bed 11 the goodly choir master of Cloisterham Cathedral, Mr. John Jasper?
Woman, I need more laudanum wine, and quickly. My task is only half finished, and your medicine is less potent than usual.
Laudanum? So, you're mixing opium with the wine these days. I'll fix it for you now.
Yes. Before I can get to the changes of colours in the great landscapes, I must be rid of him.
Who?
Him!
God spare you, there's no one there.
There he is! There she is!
Yes, of course. Now, be still and have yourself a pleasant journey. What did you say? Did you say Rosabud?
I don't seem to recall what I said. Could you please direct me to the nearest railway station? I seem to be lost.
Well, 5 and threepence you owes me.
That seems a large sum for such a small courtesy. However, if you're that needy... And the railway station?
The nearest is an Aldgate. 10 minutes of a walk away from the river.
I thank you. Incredible.
Who are you then? And what are you?
I wonder how many of you noticed that medieval statement. It sounded suspiciously like a clue to me. Might we have a game, my dear?
Yes.
Once more, please.
Who are you then? And what are you?
What, indeed? But it is now the following day, and as we return to less sordid surroundings, we meet Cloisterham's leading citizen, Mayor Thomas Sapsey.
Good afternoon, Mayor Sapsey.
He's not coming.
Really?
Go in the
What? That's unacceptable, isn't it? Notice once again who's saddled
Sorry.
with it. Ladies and gentlemen, your kind indulgence for a short announcement. The part of Mayor Thomas Sapsey will not, I repeat, will not be performed this evening by Mr. James Hitchens, as is stated in your program. Mr. Hitchens, as many of you already know, has tended to appear far more frequently in the bar in the rear than up here in front of the footlights. Therefore, it will come as no surprise to our regulars that Mr. Hitchens is once again massively indisposed due to injuries he received while fighting for a lady's honor. Apparently the lady wished to keep it. And so his part this evening will be portrayed by your own humble chairman and obedient servant. I refer, of course, ladies and gentlemen, to myself, Mr. William Cartwright. I hope this last-minute substitution meets with your approval. And I might add, it's more for your luck than mine.
Good afternoon, Mayor Sapsey.
Good afternoon, Reverend Crisparkle, and,
These are my new charges from Ceylon, Mayor Sapsey. I was just taking them to be... in fact, here he is now. Neville, Helena, allow me to introduce young Edwin Drood.
Sir,
Sir, I congratulate you on your good fortune, Mr. Drood.
good fortune, sir.
Your betrothal, sir.
Oh, yes, Rosa.
Our young Ned is soon to depart himself for your segment of the globe, Neville.
Ah, sail on, Mr. Drood.
No, but much the same. Egypt.
Oh, to make your future, sir.
No, to assure that Egypt has one. I shall shortly be taking over my family's engineering concern there. I plan to pull off a miracle.
Pray, what miracle?
The Cairo Transverse, Mr. Landless. A thoroughfare for commerce and coach travel across the desert to Alexandria.
A monumental task, Mr. Drood.
Yes.
One wonders where one will obtain, for example, the paving stones.
From the pyramids.
No!
Yes. My studies show there's enough rock in the top half of the Great Pyramid alone.
This is English blasphemy! Is it not enough that you take a delicate brew of tea leaves and likewise improve it by pouring cow's milk?
Please, let's not raise our voices here in Cloisterham High Street.
I meant no offense, sir.
And I did not mean my awkward ways to arouse such emotion, or to ruffle your splendid feathers, Miss Bud.
I'm sure Mr. Landless only feels passionately about his part of the world, Edwin.
As long as he keeps his passions in check.
I fear I have not yet adapted to your restrained climate, Master Edwin. Miss Bud.
My uncle has already given me some account of your hot-blooded temperament and past, sir. I hope you have left them both behind you.
My reputation precedes me here, a situation I needs must fear. What hope have I of blending in with this my shade of steel? I thought I cleansed my slate at last, but they anticipate my past.
What shall I show them? The full effect.
What do I owe them? What they expect? A British subject on display in from Ceylon today. Our immigration to this location has brought our station down a mile. This distant nation divides creation in rank and file, and English are they, and British am I.
British are they, and English am I. There are two subjects we don't discuss.
One is our monarch, the other's us.
And yet I feel you soon be the subject of totally.
A British subject nonetheless.
From where entwined they'll try to guess.
Cape Town and Burma, what's all the fuss? All terra firma belongs to us.
A British subject bred and born, and subject not to scorn. Our immigration to this location has brought our station down in Ireland. This distant nation divides creation in rank and file, and English are they, and British am I, and our immigration to this location has brought our station down in Ireland. This distant nation divides creation in rank and file, and English are they, and British am I. This is the way we'll stay till we die, till we die.
So you see, Mayor Sapsy, it's just as I've been saying. There is an instinctive rivalry between my own dear boy and this landless fellow. And I fear his hot-blooded Eastern temperament.
No, I think you exaggerate the matter, Mr. Jasper.
I will go mad! Do you not realize there is more than one side, one face to all things in nature? Beneath Neville's adopted English manners, there is a heathen landless who would kill as easily as he would comb his sleek hair.
Come, Mr. Jasper, that's quite extraordinary.
To the contrary, nothing could be more ordinary, sir. I myself suffer from this same sort of duality on occasion. Sometimes I will forget things, and in going back to fetch them, half expect to meet myself rounding a corner I've already turned.
What about me? Having to be your chairman and play this Mayor Sapsy bloke at the same time? It's damn confusing.
Indeed, like our two-sided Neverlanders, I find that I am not myself these days. For all I know, I might be you. There's more than room enough for two inside my mind.
I am likewise in a haze of who I am from scene to scene. What's more we do before I mean I'm in a bind.
For is it I or is it me?
And if I'm him and if I'm me, each one of us will not agree on what to do.
And if I take opposite sides within myself, then who divides on what is right or wrong?
I'll go along with you. A penny, 1 penny, 10 penny, 5 penny, 12 to a shilling, 5 cents to a florin, and pushing on fancy the currency foreign to find the invisible side of the coin. Bobbers your uncle from pennies to guineas, the two-sided hinges of rule not exception, and would you not look like the fool of deception to find the invisible side of the coin? It's high or low,
Or black or white,
it's up or down,
or left or right,
or night
or day.
I want to know the light, and undisclosed opposing sides to one's dismay.
The shadows in the shining morn, the rose is glorious, the wind is dead, as soon as born, and yet we smile.
But lots of division is reversed.
It seems to work more in reverse.
It's better they'll be worked just in a while. A penny, 1 penny, 10 penny, 5 penny, 12 to a shilling, 5 cents to a florin, and would you not fancy the currency foreign to find the invisible side of the coin? Promise your own from pennies to guineas, the two-sided hinges of rule not exception. Would you not look like the fool of deception to find the invisible side of the coin? A penny, 1 penny, 10 penny, 12 penny, 12 to a shilling, 5 cents to a florin, would you not to find the invisible side of the coin? Promise your own from pennies to guineas, the two-sided hinges of rule not exception. Would you not look like the fool of deception to find the invisible side of the coin? You've convinced me, Mr. Jasper. I will certainly keep my eye fixed upon this Neville Landless.
A brilliant and original idea, Mayor Sapsy. But now I must change. Good day, sir.
Bye-bye. We now step from Cloisterham High Street and step in line with a relic known to the residents of Cloisterham only as Durdles, a gentleman whose knowledge of the Cathedral tombs is exceeded only by his capacity for wine and spirits. He is wending his way towards an important assignation.
What's that you say, Bill?
I said assignation, with Mayor Thomas Sapsey, who lives around behind.
What's that you say, Bill?
I said around behind.
And so have you.
I didn't come here to be insulted.
Where do you usually go?
I'm not a complete fool, you know.
Why? Which bit is missing?
You're next to an idiot.
Yeah, pleased to meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, saying the role of Durdles this evening, the clown prince of the Music Hall Royale, your friend, not mine. I give you, and I don't want him back, Mr. Nick Cricker.
Assisted, dear friends, by my own lad, young Nick Cricker the second.
Yes, the one on the floor.
Afternoon, Mayor Sapsey, Lordship, sir.
Afternoon, Durdles.
I'm begging your pardon, sir. The cough, it's touch of rheumatism.
No, you mean rheumatism.
No, sir. Rheumatism. I've been working on your dead wife's grave.
You will kindly refer to the late Mrs. Thomas Sapsey as just that, the late Mrs. Thomas Sapsey. That is how I like to refer to her. Indeed, that is how I like to think of her.
She was 1 in a million.
Nope, one in a raffle.
Yes, Governor. The door's all ready for my inscribing. She'll be much happier once we moved her from a temporary grave. Though it's not been all damp, and the metals won't have been able to get to her for ages. Though there's not much you can do about the worms. I mean, they've already made a meal of Mrs. Sapsey, no matter what.
That's enough, Durdles. And who's this thing, this boy?
My protege, Squire, named Deputy.
I put the lock on your wife's tomb myself, your lordship.
That's right. It'll be my pleasure to unlock that door and slide your old woman right in there tomorrow. There's room enough for all the royal family that often in tea.
Yes, yes.
That crypt is a national treasure. I may make so bold, your grace. Just a while ago, Mr. Jasper asked if I could take him down into the crypts to see the tomb, but...
You may wish to add that line to your list of suspicious statements.
Stay on, Bill. We don't want these folks jumping to conclusions without all the facts at hand. Otherwise, they'll all be running off to the races.
Right, let's have a chorus of Off to the Races.
Stop! That song is scheduled for later in the program. We mustn't stop the dramatic momentum we're building. For now...
Off to the races!
Shut up! For now, we must descend into the darkness in order to shed new light upon our curious story as we follow Durdles and Deputy into the graveyard of Cloisterham Cathedral.
Durdles! Durdles? Durdles? Hello? Anyone there? Oh, Mr. Jasper!
What? Have you been watching me, you cunning devil? I'll have the blood of you! Ha! There. That'll serve you!
You murdered him!
What? What do you say?
Murder! Murder!
Stop talking such lunacy, dear boy. I only hope that... Oh!
There, you bastard! And I'll stone your eyes out next time! So help me!
Quiet, you young wretch! Why do you assault me this way, Deputy?
You're right for the asylum, Mr. Jasper!
Peculiar lad.
Blame it on his infectious youth, sir. But that was some excellent wine you gave me, Mr. Jasper. More potent than I'm accustomed. While I was asleep, did you get a chance to look in Mrs. Saxey's tomb?
No, I seem to have gotten lost.
No. Well, I was lost in a fitful dream myself, Mr. Jasper. I imagined someone touched me and took something from me. That is what it was. Man, Saxey wouldn't like me leaving a mausoleum of keys lying about in front of his dead wife's tomb. He gave me strict instructions that these keys were, well, now it seems like the key to Mrs. Saxey's tomb is missing. What do you think, Mr. Jasper?
I think that I have guests due at any moment for Christmas dinner, and a poor host I, not to give them all the comfort and joy of the season. A happy Christmas to you, Durdles.
God rest ye merry, Mr. John Jasper.
Yes, many a bright and chatting afternoon we've spent here among these silent tombs. Eh, my own betrothed? Ah. No, Rosa, we are not legally bound to marriage.
Then, Eddie dearest, let us change to brother and sister from this day forth.
Never to be husband and wife.
Never.
Then I am honor bound to confess this thought does not originate with you alone, Rosa.
I know, dear one. You have not been truly happy with our engagement. Neither have I.
I am sorry, Rosa.
And I for you. Poor boy.
Oh, if only our marriage had not been assured since our birth, perhaps then we would know how we truly feel towards each other.
If we were perfect strangers, how perfect life could be.
I know if I adore you, you know if you love me. Too much we've seen together to judge the view. Too much we've been together, and I assumed the future.
And I presumed that you were there, and yet I wonder where we were.
If we were perfect strangers, I'd find my way with ease. I'd see the path before me, the forest from the trees. Could life be real without you? You're always there.
How do I feel about you?
I care
To touch you, my dearest Ned, how much you mean.
Brother, sister,
I pray that you take this clasp, left to me by my mother, as a vow of our eternal friendship. God bless you.
God bless you, dear.
How do I feel about you?
I care
To touch you,
my dear.
Ned, how much you
If we were perfect strangers, I might have loved you frightful blow to my uncle. Is something the matter?
Could we keep our change of plans for Mr. Jasper for a while, Eddie?
Yes, of course. Why give him such sad news on Christmas Eve? But now we must be going. He's expecting us to dinner, and I fear there's a storm brewing.
Climate you have here in Cloisterham. First snow, now this threatening storm. The gods must be angry.
God must be angry, Neville, not gods. We use the singular in England.
What a storm for Christmas Eve!
Yes, 'twas a night like this when Rosa's mother died.
Neville tells me you were once engaged to Rosa's mother, Mr. Crisparkle.
Yes, but I fear I was a bit too Anglican, a bit too angular for her taste. And then, at a seaside party celebrating her second anniversary, just a few months after Rosa was born, she apparently slipped while walking unobserved along the cliffs and drowned in the embrace of the ungrateful wave. But enough. Let us follow Mr. Jasper's lead and forget our grievances with ourselves and with each other over a sturdy Christmas dinner. I pray you will forgive the meager merits of my humble table.
Hello, all. Sorry we're late, but we fought the storm.
Miss Bud, it is wondrous to see you again. Let me take your things.
I had no idea you'd taken on domestic staff, Uncle.
Edwin! Mr. Landis will take you seriously.
No fear of that.
Now, lads. Rosa, you have no idea what it means to have you in my chambers.
Miss Bud, how's it that in a season of holly you reminded me of the flowering hibiscus?
And how is it that you remind me of an inconsistent beggar, Neville? For while your metaphors are quite stale, your manners are uncommonly fresh.
Oh, you go too far, sir!
Gentlemen! This is Christmas Eve, and I will tolerate no further unchristian-like behavior between you. Now, this mulled wine is very good stuff indeed. I prepared it specially for you from a recipe I obtained on a recent trip to London.
Well, any port in a storm for me, Uncle.
Any port in a storm. Very good, Edwin, very good. A memory! Now, let us drink deep.
This wine is more potent than usual, Jack.
Well, I thought you lads would like it. Now, let's have no more ill will between you.
Please, Edwin.
There is no longer any cause for rivalry between us, Neville. You have my friendship, if you wish it.
Then a Merry Christmas to you, Edwin.
The goose is cooked.
Miss Bud, I think your next Christmas dinner will be in Egypt.
My God, Landis, perhaps you should accompany us to Cairo. I'm sure Rosa and I could use someone to carry our bags.
What?
Someone better acquainted with a foreign tongue than he is with minding his own.
Gentlemen, ladies, please be seated.
Sir, I don't much like your tone. That's supercilious, near you wear. Clearly wear a rather cut than I would always kill. War can soon be done and baggage to the maggots be on you.
Something in this speech seems ominous to me. Twiddle don't reach, pray promise this to me.
Praise to him divine, for this we should be glad. When to try some wine, no good can come from that. My dearest nephew Ned, I wish to wish you well. The world is yours before you, just like oysters in the shell.
Landless as you are, and know your blood is hot, but less and pure, less I'm sure that we, your history would indicate the pass upon from us, from to your vein, to coolest Sussex name.
Something sends a chill like feet upon my grave. Can my strength and will completely never save?
Could these words they say bring harm upon the land? Night must follow day, no good can come from that. My dearest, deepest friends, may I propose a toast to Rosa and Edwin Drood, 3 cheers! Here's the roast! How very best of you, with no so many stars, my kingdom's come, I will be God. Which one of you will carve?
Lights is cut like me, you know it can't, so I dare at you, dare presume to stare at you. I beg my wife, I turn my life, I see you dead, my balls be breath away.
Fate waits near, I feel it, I fear it. We are friends they met, will not soon forget. Hearing never threat, every air protect.
In younger days I hungered for another, Rosa's mother. After Rosa's birth she left this earth, now dust is all I'm worth.
So long a time they thought that I'm addressed and dull, quiet, naive, but I perceive these boys, this noise, more frightening than they might conceive. These new additions, they may be revealed, murderous additions, otherwise concealed. Finally, I cast full warning you have had. That must be to us.
No good can come from bad, no good can come from bad.
Hey! What a storm for Christmas Eve! I must walk down to the river weir and see this bit of nature unchecked. Will you excuse me, Uncle?
Of course.
I will join you on your walk!
And we must retire to the nun's house before the storm. Good night, Edwin.
Bye, dear.
Everyone,
Rosa!
Be careful how you tread, Neville.
Well, I shall see the ladies safely home.
Will you join us, Uncle?
No, Edwin, I have some plans that I must execute. I cannot let you go in that flimsy coat. You shall wear my own humble but serviceable caped coat.
Come, Edwin, your destiny calls!
Then, goodbye, Uncle. Goodbye, oh!
When shall these 3 meet again? When, if ever? But it is now late the following afternoon. Christmas Day, to be sure. The storm has passed, and in its wake there is no trace to be found of young Edwin Drood.
oh, Reverend Chris Sparkle, I just know something terrible has happened to Edwin.
Oh, let us wait until my assistant Basil arrives. You have heard, I'm sure, the sentiment voice that no news is most certainly good news. Ah, and here he is now. Basil, what news? No news. You see, I don't believe you've met my assistant Basil. His chief occupation is in guiding excursion parties around our church. Quite the showman is our Basil, though tragically misplaced.
Misplaced?
Yes, you see, Basil carries with him a secret. Now, Rosa, what do you think Mr. Basil has done?
Oh dear, nothing dreadful, I hope.
Mr. Basil has written a play, a tragedy, The Thorn of Anxiety.
When will it be performed?
Never!
Sometimes I think Basil has more pride in its lack of support, like a citizen of Greece who prefers the Parthenon in ruin. Though I hope to see Mr. Basil's work performed one day.
I too, Mr. Basil.
I love the theatrical world, but there are other stages beyond the proscenium. I long to play a larger part.
Then, Basil, use your enviable creativity to find some accounting for young Ned.
That assignment I eagerly accept.
Oh, my dear, hopeless Edwin.
How like her mother she looks. Had the Lord seen fit to smile upon me, had her mother not married another, nor met her death 2 years later at that pleasure party by the sea, I might have been Rosa's.
Father, I need your prayers.
Rise, my child. The cathedral bells summons. And is it not significant, Mayor Sapsy, that Neville Landless was last seen fleeing the district?
Now you convinced me, Mr. Jasper. Secret murderer may indeed be hiding in Cloisterham's affectionate bosom. And yes, all signs seem to point toward young Neville Landless.
My thought exactly!
I shall instruct a few strong fellows to bring him back here, using whatever force is necessary so that we may question him.
You do that, sir!
We'll find that Neville Landless right enough now.
And when we do, we'll educate the murderous swine.
Right, with any luck, we'll have a hanging for Christmas.
It's the dogs.
Oh, Mr. Jasper! Mr. Jasper! Look what I discovered.
What? It's my coat! The one I gave to Edwin last night! It's been torn to ribbons! And blood! Oh God, there's blood on it! Where did you find this?
Under a rock, by the River Weir!
My dear boy is murdered! I take this oath before you, Bassett, that I shall fasten the crime of murder upon the murderer, and that I devote myself to his destruction!
I shall remember your words, Mr. John Jasper!
It for you this evening, Philip.
That's right, Bill.
Well, I mean, it hardly seems worth your coming down from Nut each night, does it? You seem to be specializing in these narrow parts of late.
Well, it's not by choice, Mr.
Let's
Cartwright.
see, in Julius Caesar, you were...
A senator.
Ah, so, at least you were in for the kill. Do you know, if you think of it, it's rather odd that Charles Dickens created your character at all. Unless, of course, he had a more promising future in mind for you.
Would that be my solace in this role, Mr. Cartwright?
Yes, I'm sure. Well, Philip, we're almost done with this act, and our second act is considerably shorter than the first. Would you have a song ready at hand?
Well, as a matter of happenstance, Mr. Cartwright, I do have, in common with my role this evening, aspirations as an author, and have composed a brief song, which, I venture to say, underscores the dilemma of the character of Bassett I portray. I hesitate.
Come, the title, Mr. Bass.
Never the Luck, Mr. Cartwright.
Ladies and gentlemen, a short diversion on our journey together this evening. The debut of an unpublished and perhaps rightfully unheard of composition. Mr. Philip Bax singing his own Never the Luck.
Never the luck, and never the lead, and never you mind, they say. In time we'll taste the lime in the light, and I'll have my light someday. Still, each precious part seems over and done before I've begun to speak. I cast out my line and keep my hand in, but I'll not stand in this week. some starless night, they'll call toward the wings, who here dances and sings. That's where yours truly springs, and seeing me then they will cry, why, he knows each line and everyone's cue, we must let him do the part. I'll leap center stage, the music will play, I'll waltz my way into your heart. So ever I plan and ever I plot, with ever the pluck to try, I wait for my star, by fate to be struck, but never the luck have
I'm sure. Neverlandless, where is Edwin Drood?
Where is? What? Why do you ask me that way?
Because you're the last person seen in his company, and he is nowhere to be found.
Miss Epsy, do you wish to question him?
When you left for the river with Edwin Drood, what time was it?
In all honesty, I cannot recall anything of what transpired once Edwin and I reached the river.
And what are these bloodstains on your shirt front and on your hands?
I acquired these bloodstains, sir, just now when these men of yours forcibly dragged me from the countryside where I had been walking.
Neverlandless, I place you under arrest.
Neville, how many of them did it take to mar you in this way?
8!
You have an interesting way of dealing with the law here in Cloisterham, Mr. Sapsey. And you, Mr. Jasper. For days now you have been warning all of Cloisterham of the impending violence between your nephew and my brother. What do you know of all this?
Only that my nephew is dead. Miss Epsy, I warned that young Neville has no knowledge of Master Drood beyond that of which he has freely volunteered.
And you shall volunteer nothing further, Neville.
You must remember, along with your brother, that there's an issue of murder at hand.
Before you utter that word again, you laughable man, perhaps you will be good enough to supply a body, a corpse, a victim, something more tangible than an errant nephew, a timorous uncle, and a ludicrous city official who has no backing for his charges beyond pure pomp and sheer circumstance.
Hear, hear!
Well said, Helena.
She's right, you know, Mr. Sapsey. Without a body, you cannot possibly arrest young Master Neville.
Very well, release him.
Oh, bless you, Mr. Crisparkle.
I am overpaid.
Yes, well, let's all pause there for a while, shall we? So, here is where matters now lie. Edwin Drood has vanished, and may likely be, Clive?
Dead. John Jasper has sworn vengeance upon his nephew's murderer,
Who most of the populace suspect to be Neverlanders.
But the charges against Neville have been rescinded, thanks to Helena Landis's steely resolve and the support of the kindly
Reverend Mr. Crisparkle, who was once engaged to
Rosa's deceased mother. Meanwhile, it's difficult to know what one should make of
the drunken stonemason Durdles and his young apprentice deputy, not to mention
The mysteriously motivated purveyor of opium, Princess Puffer.
all statements to consider during the interval, with the one admonition. Should you leap to conclusions without all the relevant facts, you may find yourself carried off to the races.
Yes, Bill! Let's have a chorus of Off to the Races!
A spontaneous request, which brings us rather adroitly to a song. For what evening at the Music Hall Royale would be complete without a rendition of its trademark anthem,
Off to the Races!
Quick conclusions often lead the best of us astray. The wisest move in life is just to wait. Otherwise, our galloping emotions run away
Like horses at the gate.
Then,
Off to the races, off to the races, off to the race we go. But where the chase is and what the pace is, we seldom seem to know.
Men with broken hearts are bound to never more pursue a member of the soft and saber race. Then they anchor to the ground, they suddenly review
Our fair and favored face. Then off to the races, off to the races, where 30 paces fall. In saving graces, strong drink replaces the need for love at all. Don't fall back on your assumptions, hasty presumptions. Why do you win? Mind the track like an egg running blind. Try lagging behind, you'll find you'll win.
bless our Queen Victoria, she's had 9 kids to date. You wonder how Prince Albert got enthused. Probably by her decree he had to procreate, said she. Make me amused. Then,
Off to the races, the royal races, the same as poor folk do.
And she embraces her royal graces, the same in want as you.
Ride like the wind, bullseye! And the race is won by the tardy, not the foolhardy. Fools have to be. Don't unlace your madcap abandon. Do and you'll land undone, not me. So we call upon you all to hold your horses' reins before you solve the stings of a crime. Sometimes having patience is as good as having brains, so take your bloody time. Pour out the spirits, the end is near it, only a length or so. Don't begin to beat your toil, for the finish isn't far. To the races, off to the race we go. Tally-ho!
Incidentally, if you're enjoying our modest efforts this evening to date, I heartily recommend that you return to this venue next week when we present the Music Hall Royale's latest and most ingenious work to date,
Hamlet!
So, we are, I trust, rested, relaxed, restored, renewed, and more than ready to conclude what has been the most ambitious effort to date of the Music Hall Royale, that of solving, by your votes, shortly to be counted, the mystery of Edwin Drood. 6 months have passed, and English summer is now in progress. Still, there is to be found no trace of Edwin Drood, and all Cloisterham is agog with rumor and suspicion. There are further developments. 2 inquiring detectives are shortly about to appear. The Princess Puffer, whom you've already met, and a detective, a man of mystery, who wears a bulky beard, a fulsome coat, and the name Dick Datchery. I said Dick Datchery.
Right.
These 2 apparent strangers approach with grand intentions and great expectations, which, I might add, we should be presenting in Brighton next season. And like ourselves, Dick Datchery and his Princess Puffer are now just arriving at Cloisterham Station. Jasper, back from another treatment in London, and in his wake, amid the many curious souls of Cloisterham, none is more intently curious than these 2 sleuths.
I'm on the track of a man in black. He disappeared before the smoke cleared.
On the scent of a resident, I'll check them well. Inspect the personnel. I'm led upon a doubtful chase.
Who's dead or gone without a trace? This is a private investigation. Just when did Drood depart, and where on his destination? It's a private investigation. He's vanished into air, or vanished where in all creation. On the trail of a small detail, I drew a bead upon a clue I need.
I'll navigate as well was made. Incognito, into the fog we go. I'm not a man of any means.
I'll search and scan behind the scenes. This is a private investigation. Just when did Drood depart, and where on his destination? It's a private investigation. I'll turn this private club into a public situation. It's a private It's a private. Just when did Drood depart? It's a private
I'm steering by, pursuing lies. I clearly spy with my private eyes.
Ah, there you are, Reverend Sparkle. All things bright and beautiful. Tonight.
Yes, it's as if the stars were mere punctures in the ceiling of earth through which heaven's light can be seen. Or something along those lines. I only wish my assistant Bazzard, who is away on business, could see such a night as this.
Hold on there, boy. Here's a face we've not seen before. Welcome to fair Cloisterham, Captain. I'm in the way of being the official breeder to all visitors who look like they might have the price of a bottle of wine on them. My name is Durdles.
My name is Datchery, Dick Datchery, and I was wondering
lodgings here in Cloisterham, sir.
Close to the cathedral as well.
Excuse me, sir, I couldn't help overhearing. The only accommodations I know of that sort around here are a single lodging above the rooms of Mr. John Jasper. He's a great admirer of mine.
Is that the fellow who's been much afflicted by the death of his nephew Edwin Drood?
Wait on, boy. This much afflicted fellow, John Jasper, is he always dressed in mourning these days?
That's the man. You won't catch me going near him again.
Why is that, boy?
Because I'm going to be picked up off my legs and choked again.
I find that most interesting. I shall enjoy watching the comings and goings of this town.
That man should speak to his tailor.
Excuse me, miss. Could you tell me where Mr. John Jasper...
Oh, are you ill?
Oh, no, miss. I always look this way.
Rosa, we have both been guilty of neglecting your music lessons. When shall we resume?
Never, sir.
Am I being politely told that you have abandoned your studies altogether?
The politeness is yours, not mine. I beg not to be questioned further. I will not answer any more. At least I have that in my power.
Rosa,
I do not wish to hear you, sir.
I do not forget how many eyes command a view of us. But you shall hear me, even against your wishes. Dearest Rosa. Charming Rosa, even when my dear old boy was engaged to you, I loved you madly. I have hid our secret loyally, have I not?
You were as false to him, sir, daily and hourly as you are now. You know you made me afraid to open his kind eyes to the truth, that you are a bad, bad man.
How beautiful you are! You are more beautiful in anger than in repose. I don't ask for your love. Give me yourself and your hate, that pretty rage, that enchanting scorn, and it shall be enough for me. I warn you, sweet witch, rare charmer, you must stay, or do more harm than can be undone.
You're mad!
I mean to show you how mad my love is!
Oh, you dare to use that word!
Yes!
Love is but a word that wandered here from pastures green, where it was rarely said or seen and seldom sung. Innocent enough, it was intended to be used on rare occasions, not abused by every tongue. Rarely has a word been ever taken so in vain, with little meaning my brain is quickly blurred. Never has there been so quite exhausting since return your silent syllables confirm how drained this word. You call it love.
Call it love.
I call it rude.
Call it rude.
I call it lust.
Just.
Call it lewd.
Too cruel.
Call it cruel.
And I'm a fool. Still I dare to call it love.
I think it fouls.
You scowl.
But
See me
the
smile.
world's
A break.
I
No deny.
You're worse than that.
My words are mad.
You get to say
I speak them in the name of love.
Rosa about the dainty little face whose every curl confirms that she's a child, a girl in neophyte. Rosa is the only soul in Cloisterham, it seems, who senses just the sort of dreams you recite. Did you think your stare would stop my scene? Every fiber of my being told me since I was betrothed that your most unnatural attention conscious words I dare not mention. You must know how much I love to know your wants,
My wants.
to see you clutch,
I need not
to
touch.
hear your voice, to feel your touch.
Is it so much
Dreadful
for
task.
me to ask?
To you speak
I only seek the name of love.
I will not fear.
I long to hear
My tragic blight.
the angry bite.
I have a choice.
A choice.
The taste of life.
What lazy night?
I will permit
You submit.
you to desecrate the name of love.
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 The name
in the moonfall,
Can you not free this victim you saw enslaved? Save me, and let these sleeps remain awake. My one transfixed with one of his love, my all your love, the name of love is thrilling to me. Beneath these skies one night unknown, would she dare? Between our eyes one sight alone. We share the sight of moonfall as it comes into view. So that soon I only wanted me to see a light, but the following
Here's something. Yes, and now I have one of the very bits of information I came here for.
And you're leaving voice for him already.
Not bloody likely. I didn't come this far only to turn away with but one piece of puzzle in the hand. I never in my wretched life got anything I ever set about after, nor the fool I be to pull back just when I'm winning. I've never understood those in life who ease up just when they should push on. Once I bet my last 10 pence and won. Twice as rich and friends said, call it done. How sad I said, so that's your wildest dream, ain't that? 20 pence instead of 10. Double up my bet again. In life we start the same as when we're done. If you lose, you're just where you've begun. If you've won, don't quit while you're ahead. Just press your blessed luck instead.
Don't try to think what move might be the best. Use the heart that beats within your breast. Never rest. Don't quit while you're ahead. Don't rest.
That's all it's
for me.
I see my dream ship finally coming in like the steamship, anchoring into wind.
Lift your chin. Remember what I said. Don't quit while you're ahead. Let go. I know there must be love that's yet to be. Only just 3 weeks away from me, hopefully.
Don't quit while you're ahead. Don't worry how you tread. Who cares? And there's the chance. One pipe dream that is mine, a romance quite ripe upon the vine.
Don't resign.
No victim ever fled. Don't quit while you're ahead. To stay. Ta-ra-ta-ra. Boom. Bang it, crash it, hooray, hurrah. Boom. Bang it, crash it, la-di-da. Don't quit while you're ahead. Don't say I'm off to bed. Farewell.
Full well I know. Don't let the moment go to waste. Not with thick
betraying the refrain. Don't quit for you're ahead, as easily done as said. You'll see Tara's green. Boom! Clang and clash into glory be. Boom! Clang and clash into glory be. Don't quit for you're ahead. Sing out, there's more in store for me. Much more for me. Much more for me. Out, lost, free, safe as light is clear, we were not quite shivering in the dim dull of night. So long have we been blind, but finally we unwind the plot. The truth is this, we find that what we be.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was at this point in our story that Mr. Charles Dickens laid down his pen forever. So, this is all we shall know for sure about the mystery of Edwin Drood. Tonight, however, within the confines of this humble theatre, together we shall solve, resolve, and conclude the mystery
Of Edwin Drood.
Mr. Baxter, if you please. One minor mystery we can resolve immediately, though it has little to do with the plot at hand. You see, most literary experts agree that our inquiring detective, Dick Datchery, is someone that we've already met. One of the characters from Act 1 who's roaming Cloisterham in the disguise of Datchery so as to better investigate the disappearance of Edwin Drood. And as many of you have already no doubt guessed, the part of Datchery this evening has been thus far taken by that master and mistress of male impersonation, Miss Alice Nutt. This does not mean that Edwin Drood is Datchery. Oh no, far from it. The reason for Miss Nutting's portrayal of Dick Datchery this evening is, well, is that she was contracted to appear in 2 acts of this play, and our management believes in an honest week's work for an honest day's pay. If you catch my drift. Which brings us to our first key question. Who is Edwin Drood, dead or alive? Mr. Charles Dickens himself experimented with several different titles for our story. For example,
The loss of Edwin Drood. The flight of Edwin Drood.
The disappearance of Edwin Drood.
but nowhere the death or murder of Edwin Drood. On the other hand, many would say that a mystery without a murder is no mystery at all. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our questions will be answered primarily by you, but in a daring and perhaps dangerously democratic move, the Music Hall Royale has decided to grant our company itself the right to vote upon one issue each night. And so, my fellow acolytes of the Thespianic persuasion, this evening your question will be, is Edwin Drood dead or alive? And Miss Nutting, having a vested interest in the outcome, will kindly turn her back to the cast. Gentlemen, ladies, as your whim takes you this evening, all those who believe that Edwin Drood is dead, please raise your hands. Thank you. All those who believe Edwin Drood is alive, do the same now, if you please. Thank you. I'm sorry, Miss Nutting, but you snuffed it. By a massive majority, I fear. And now our next key question, who is the detective Dick Datchery? Well, we can eliminate Edwin Drood from consideration since the cast has voted him dead for the remainder of the evening.
Dead! Ha and bloody ha ha! Oh, you absolute envious little shit! It is obvious to everyone here that Drood, that I am Datchery, and it's even more transparent that this petty, jealous cast bitterly resents the attention I received in the local press.
First, her dressing room was too small. Oh, then her moustache was too long. I told her she was splitting hairs. Oh, please yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I must apologize for this bit of unpleasantry in what I'm sure you'll agree has otherwise been a flawless evening. And in fairness to our cast and our story, I must strenuously point out that many literary experts disagree with Miss Nutting's contention that Edwin Drood and Dick Datchery are indeed the same person. In fact, there are several prime suspects for the face behind Datchery's beard. For instance, I offer you Helena Landless. About her, Neville said in Act 1,
In desperation, Helena tried on more than one occasion to flee our stepfather's cruel and miserly hand, even disguising herself as a boy.
a hit, a palpable hit. But is it a meaningful thrust or misdirection? Wouldn't Helena have been fearful of pursuing John Jasper under the given circumstances?
Not under any circumstances.
But our list of candidates hardly ends there. What say you of Basil?
I love the theatrical world, but there are other stages beyond the proscenium. I long to play a larger part.
Who more likely to don such melodramatic garb and seek the spotlight? Why otherwise does he appear in our story at all?
From my earliest remembrances, I've been secret and revengeful.
Who more likely to don the garb in order to investigate the disappearance of Edwin Drood than he who is most suspected of foul play? Or could someone else have wished to clear Neville's name?
Neville has been entrusted to my care.
Reverend Christopher Sloane, whose energies and passion lay hidden beneath his clerical garb, did he perhaps don another uniform, that of Datchery, to save the lad who's been his trust and responsibility? And then there's the puzzling and intriguing possibility of Rosa.
Rosa!
Could we have underestimated the resourcefulness of this woman-child? Did she take it upon herself to investigate the disappearance of Drood? Looks can be deceiving.
Also,
This much we do know for certain. Datchery cannot be John Jasper, the Princess Puffer, Durdles, Deputy, or even Mayor Sapsy. For in our play and in Mr. Dickens' novel, they all appear in scenes with him. They are all to be found in his company. And so we are left with the following candidates for the role of Dick Datchery. And may I suggest that we vote in the way of amateur theatrical contests. As each candidate steps forward, pray applaud for your own favorite for the role of Datchery. And do remember, there are larger questions still to be decided. Soon we shall be asking you to decide who is the murderer of Edwin Drood. So don't merely vote for whichever cast member is a distant cousin of yours, for God's sake. The underrated Basil. All the way from Ceylon, Mr. Neville Landless. The lovely Miss Rosa Bond. Tempestuous Miss Helena Landless. Ecstatic ecclesiastic, Reverend Christopher. Right. Helena Landless is our Datchery. I can see several members of the audience more than ready to assist you in that process. And now, to a much more serious matter for the rest of us to consider.
Come on. You may want this performance. They can't help it. I'm sorry to all of you for what you've missed, but we are leaving Bill and you're not coming back.
Really?
Bill, you're scaring her.
I am not. Please, please. Such appalling behavior is due strictly to upbringing. Her parents were in the iron and steel business. Mother irons, father steals. You mean you didn't like that one? No. How about this then? She was formerly known as the orthopedic soprano. She sang in all the joints. And how about this? She once sang in a pub called the Cock and Comfort. Not much comfort, but plenty of it. So that's the mood we're in. Which brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to a much more serious matter. For now, it is time, as in all great mysteries, for us to find ourselves a killer, a culprit, a fiend. In short, the murderer of the dear, departed, vanished, vanquished, late lamented, title character of the play, Edwin Drood. Who killed Edwin Drood? Who shall be our murderer tonight? First, for your consideration, I give you the most obvious candidate for the part, Mr. Clive Paget as John Jasper. Who do you not know, here at the music hall we boo and hiss the villain?
We know!
Yes!
Boo!
We shall have to do the whole thing over again. And we will do it until we get it right. And if you don't, we shall form a line up here and sing 83 choruses of The Church Bell Won't Ring Tonight because the vicar's got the clapper. Here we go. Last shot. I give you the most obvious suspect, the old villain, Mr. Clive Paget as John Jasper. I ask you, is this the face of murder? Yes. Well, more appropriately, can this be all there is to the mystery of Edwin Drood?
No.
John Jasper, the obvious villain, murdered his nephew Edwin Drood in a hopeless attempt to win the love of the fair Miss Rosa. Where then the mystery? That's the movie that your sales big mouth, hasn't it? Where then the mystery? Where indeed? So, how stand you? For the obvious answer, or for a more puzzling solution? Now, certain cast members can be excluded from the bidding. Young Deputy and my own Mayor Thomas Sapsy role were without question intended for comic relief and never featured very intimately in the lives of the other characters. Which leaves us with the following candidates for the role of the murderer.
Bassett, my need for attention has made me quite mad. Someone stop me before I sing again.
Rosa Barton, why on earth would someone as innocent and pure as myself murder my own true dead?
Durdles! I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than give Drood a frontal lobotomy.
Neville Landless, in all honesty, I cannot recall anything of what transpired once Edwin and I reached the river. But he was an odious little twit, and he deserved what he got.
Princess Papa, who am I? And what am I?
The Reverend Chris Barkle. Have I somehow confused my mission here on this earth?
John Jasper. I have stood in the cold shade of suspicion since our story began.
Time, ladies and gentlemen, time for you to decide. Young Deputy,
That's my name.
yes, would you please catch Miss Nothing and ask her to come back to help count the voting? No, it will be all right. Tell her I'll make it worth her while. There's nothing to be afraid of. The dog doesn't bite.
Mom.
Right. Can we bring up the house lights, please, and we'll begin to tally the... Good Lord, is this what I've been dealing with tonight? Why don't you all hold hands and try contacting the living? No matter. We'll proceed post-haste to the voting. Even now, members of our company, young deputy, Miss Nutting, your own choice for Datchery, and myself will be circulating amongst you to count your vital votes. All right.
3 drinks for number 6,
row right here, and my friends in this row right here. I'm going to call out a number between 1 and 7. Please raise your hand when I call out the number that you want to make. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Thank you very much about counting matters. Okay, now for these 2 rows right here, I'm going to do the same thing I just did. We'll call out numbers and raise your hand for all the whole class. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Thank you very much, your levity, and now song 7.
Here is every soul in the town. We're fixed to fill the role, settle down. Your verdict will be clear, your murder quick to sear. In sight tonight you chose from candidates galore with a lose. Your grand inquisitor, here's the news. Your judgment has been passed, you've settled up the score. At last.
I will now offer a sip of port to your chosen fiend, so that he or she may know your verdict. And ladies and gentlemen, so that the final denouement may come as a complete surprise, for the next few minutes, I strenuously request that you close your eyes tightly. Great, close them now.
Close your eyes.
Thank you, Angela. I am offering the port. The murderer is sipping it. You may open your eyes now. You see, you cannot trust anyone up here tonight. And so, ladies and gentlemen, while our cast departs backstage, where at this moment your votes are being counted, I caution you to prepare yourselves for a few unexpected twists and turns as we serpentine our way toward the conclusion that you have chosen for us. And so, friends of the Music Hall Royale, for the first time ever, at long last, for your determination, the conclusion, the finale of the Mystery of Edwin Drood. The first chapter that Mr. Dickens wrote was entitled The Dawn. Perhaps not coincidentally, the last chapter he wrote was entitled The Dawn Again. So yes, our last chapter begins amidst the cold grey tendrils of a dim English dawn.
It's bloody freezing again.
Yeah.
Here, Missy.
What is it?
Oh, can you spare 3 and 6 for a Christian soul in distress?
We're both Christian souls in distress, I fear, and I have little more than 3 and 6 to get me to London.
Running away from something?
Yes, at long last, yes, and now I must...
Rosa!
How on earth could you know my name?
No. Oh, I've only known you since the day you were born. Only bathed and fed you. Don't look at me, Rosa. I don't want you to see me this way. But can you remember your nanny, Rosa, some 12 years ago? Will you look at me now and see your Nan instead?
Somewhere. I was 6, and then you weren't there anymore.
Oh, you do remember.
Oh,
Oh, God love you. You never really knew your mother, did you? I was the closest thing to that for you.
but why did you leave me?
Oh, it's a sad story, Rosa. But a common one, I fear. I was once your Nan. Then I met a man, tall and old with golden hair. He's where my end began. Let him have his way with me. He knew his way so well. Led me down the garden path to a pair. Marriage in the end. What I got instead was a bed in Camden Town, and then to me he said, should I send around a friend, be nice to him this swell, strolling down your garden path to hell. Make your bed of roses and sleep in it, cuddle deep in it, and pray you never wake. Soon the deadly poppies come cropping up, fairy popping from the seeds of one mistake. On me back all day, earning seconds pay. Took to drink so's not to think of who'd come next to play. Gave my gent my every cent, and he gave me farewell, leaving me to beat the path to hell. Life's a maze of hedges that prickle you, as will tickle you. They'll tear you all about. Strolling through the mazes, amusing too, but confusing when you find there's no way out. Lost me looks by then, couldn't draw them in. So I learned to trade and earned my keep with drugs, and then found myself a wicked shelf where opium I sell. Here's a pipe for you, sir. Price is 5 and 2, sir. Can't you see the garden? It's such a lovely garden. I'll take you there, I know the path so well. To hell. To But how comes this man to cry out, Rosa? been here finding out who was who. I've come back a time or two. That last night tracking me was this Mr. Datchery. So I follow his tracks to his lodgings in the bats. Though I hate to confess, while I watched this man undress, and I saw a sudden wise who without his bold disguise took a brave strength of will and much wit to have planned this. Dick Datchery is Miss Landless.
Thank God for that. The sheep has been sheared. I don't know how men live through heat with a beard. Gladly I shed this tender coat. My explanation I now emote. Motive in taking the role of a wigged and bewhiskered soul was to ably disguise my most feminine size when I take an inquiring stroll. For strangers will chat with a chap and reveal this and that and a snap, a remarkably leery of women who worry too much, 'tis a great handicap. So this disguise can be proved, playing the part of a man who really there's nothing much to it, most any animal can, coming out of the limerick, out of the limerick, out of the limerick can. I found a theatrical kit, and a statuary I did my bit. So to clear Neville's name I confess to my shame was my vengeance as well I admit. I followed young Jasper high low, to the dens he descends to below, and when Puffer came here, 'twas immediately clear my suspicions were quite apropos. So I crept into the lodgings of Jasper, and dressed in star, what a sight! There I found Rosa Bethesda, her mother she gave to the night. Jasper took it from Ned after burning a ditch in the wheel for men, I suppose. Helena Datchery knows, and the proof is quite clear that the spring does but here to be tried and then tried and strung. And from this limerick let him be hung.
I will not lie. I wished Ned to die. Twice dead am I. A man can split in twain, and to all eyes remain a soul genteel who can conceal the venom in his brain. And if he draws upon the pause in madness, opium smoke supplies. Why this great surprise? There are two men in me, and cunning bright is he, who hides himself, resides himself where I've no eyes to see. But now I think he's at the brink of breaking through the door. I'm in, he's out, I'm out, he's free, I'm me once more. How many times I killed that Drood upon my flights that burst the smug presumption of his rights as heir, his rights to share my Rosa's bed. It took no smoke for me to picture Edwin dead. That night I filled myself a flask of laudanum, and then to toast my Ned in Neville I drank some. That's when my greatest flight of fancy did take place. I watched my hands outstretched toward Edwin's pale white face, and in the moonfall I saw my fingers clutching his neck so tightly, touching my sleeve, he fell so lightly. Moonfall then fell on me. But God, the deed was much too easily done, as much as over once it had begun. Such tragedy to finally make the kill, and not to awake to taste the thrill. Now I've confessed, now we both can rest.
Yes, you placed the coat young Drood wore that night down by the river weir to throw suspicion on Neville Anglis. You're a bad one, Mr. Jasper, with the evil ones inside you. But you're not a murderer. You didn't kill Edwin Drood.
Durdles, let me understand you. You mean that John Jasper did not kill his nephew Edwin Drood?
Exactly, your lordship, sir. It was a wild night that Christmas Eve, as you'll remember, Squire. And I'd sought shelter down near Mr. Jasper's door. That's when I saw one amongst you throttle Edwin Drood. And in a convenient flash of lightning, I saw who it was. That was quite a long speech, Bill. Think I could have a quick report.
Durdles!
Right. Suddenly, I see Mr. Jasper stagger out of his own home under the influence of potent medicine. And then he collapses. And then he gets up. And he picks up young Drood and he carries him into the cemetery. And then down into the crypts, depositing the body right in Mrs. Sepsie's tomb. What? Yes, I told you there was plenty of room in there.
Yes, but now, Durdles, you must tell us who did it.
Lord love me. It was the Reverend Crisper.
Rosa's mother, love another, know you well. If man's a planner and not her, he go to hell. I'm free from blasphemy, but have some sin in you. See your easy, I confess my murdered Drood. I saw another in Rosa's face. There was a father stood in her place. And could I let this Edwin Drood have her I loved and moved? This love of mine must never wed. One shot of mine and he was dead. Baptized with fasces, his neck I trust. Capsized to ashes, thus dust to dust. And then I poured him from the tomb and sanctified his tomb. He ceased to shiver, he ceased to live. I did deliver him to God, and she is mine now, a love divine now. So find me odd, but living am I, and vanished is true. Satan must die and vanquished is true. I couldn't let anyone, not even Edwin, marry Rosa's mother. Could I, eh, John? You are a warped man, Reverend Crisper. Rosa's mother, the woman you loved, has been dead some dozen years. Drood was no threat to you. Really? Really? Oh, well, I guess the joke's on me then. Where am I meant to be going? God bless you.
So there, then, is your murderer. But surely we're entitled to a happy ending. Now, all of us have need in our lives for love, romance, or at this hour of the evening any reasonable facsimile thereof. So, which two of our story shall find that commodity that we all seek? Who shall be our lovers tonight? Let's see, on the distaff side, we have the lovely Rosa, the tempestuous Helena Landless, the serviceable Princess Papa. Which of these ladies shall be united in love with one of our remaining male leads? And pray, vote with your applause again. Miss Rosa, Miss Helena Landless, well-heeled bachelors that are available. Not you, sir. Again, please vote for your male counterpart. Durdles. Jasper. Young deputy. John Jasper. All right, we're going to have a slight clap off. Thank you. Bazzer. Young deputy. John Jasper. Right, well, you've made your selection and we're stuck with it, I feel. I have the feeling we're about to have a love song.
Here, Bassett. I understand you want to write plays. I've lived a life of sin wicked enough to make a score of shameless dramas. How's about a collaboration? Dip your quill in the ink of my existence, so to speak.
With a life like yours as the source of my inspiration, I think my quill could rise to new heights.
Once we were perfect strangers, how strangely met are we?
I find I now adore you. My life has yet to be.
It seems I'm alone to hold you, fate ruled it so.
You love me so, they told you. Once we have kissed, pretending takes no skill, the strangest makes me free.
Once we were perfect strangers, yet now I love you perfectly.
Edwin Drood. Ah, if only he could talk to us from beyond the grave. What could he tell us? What would he say? Perhaps that is the mystery of Edwin Drood. What?
I'm alive! Hello, all! I'm Lanesboro, risen from the grave. Quite alive, you'll find me. This tomb behind me is where I faced my closest shame. When I struck my head against the street, I was stunned, not stricken, or thought not thinking, for Jasper flew me off my feet. To the crypt, I awoke in dark beyond belief, and while all above me shed their grief, I was screaming for my very breath, only moan